Welcome to Return to the Disc. This week we're going to be talking about film noirs. You might ask yourself, what is a film noir? What qualifies as a film noir? Does it have to have Humphrey Bogart in it? A film noir is sort of like a crime novel with a narrator providing us with a scenario or perspective from their point of view, and we follow the narrator whether they're trustful or they're untrustful. That's to be determined. Now, a film noir also needs to have a great twist. If you don't have a great twist to the mystery or crime, it doesn't really work as well. Also, there is a certain style to a film noir. Film noir traditionally was black and white. Say you're in an office, usually light was shot through the blinds, so you have white light, shadows, smoke. Also is an essential to early film noir. You also have to have a great female antagonist or protagonist or femme fatale and quick dialogue. So did you go down in the office, Jim? What did you find out there? Quick, snappy dialogue, especially in the 30s, 40s, 50s. It may seem dry nowadays, especially the acting. More about the writing, more about the twist, the story. Guns are featured as well. Film noirs are usually stylized through shadows and different lighting techniques. All of those combined will give you the essential ingredients for film noir. So let's begin. First picture is Lady from Shanghai, directed by Orson Welles. Baffling murders, fascinating plot twists, and remarkable camera work all contribute to this spellbinding, time-honored film noir, written, directed by, and starring Orson Welles. Hired to work on a yacht belonging to the disabled husband of femme fatale Rita Hayworth, Welles plays an innocent man drawn into a dangerous web of intrigue and murder. We start out, as any film noir does, with Orson Welles' narration saying that he is not a good person. He is not the hero of this story. Do we trust that or not? So Orson Welles plays Michael O'Hara, and Michael O'Hara talks like this. He talks like the Lucky Charms. Orson Welles' accent in this, the Irish "Me Lucky Charms" accent, was a distraction for me. He wasn't really consistent with his accent, so that threw me off as well. Michael ends up saving Elsa, played by Rita Hayworth. Elsa is married to Mr. Bannister. Elsa decides that Michael should work for Mr. Bannister, her husband. So he goes to work as a seaman. Michael admits that he's a murderer, and he runs into George Grisby, who wants to plan a murder himself, only he wants Michael to murder him for $5,000. So the plan is for Michael to murder George. George will go away and get some inheritance from the Bannister estate. So you have a rich Bannister estate up for grabs. George Grisby wants a taste of it. He has some sort of insurance policy because he works for Mr. Bannister, so he wants to frame himself as a dead man so he can collect and retire and move away to the islands, while Michael and Elsa have the same idea, where Michael and Elsa run away. Plot twist: it turns out that Mr. Grisby has been murdered and Michael is framed. He's framed for the murder. So then they go to a jury. Mr. Bannister represents Michael in the courtroom. Twists and turns and deception that I don't really want to spoil for you guys, because I think you guys need to see Lady from Shanghai if you haven't. But it ends up with this amazing empty carnival climax where these mirrors surround Michael and Elsa and Mr. Bannister. They're all going against each other at the end of the climax, and it's like John Wick took from this movie. John Wick took from Lady from Shanghai. But Lady from Shanghai, this is the hallmark scene of the movie, with the mirrors and the gunshot in the mirrors. You don't know who's in one angle because the mirrors are disorienting the angle from who's in the room with you. You can't really tell, so you're just firing at mirrors and mirrors crack and all this. The way that it's shot is beautiful. So Lady from Shanghai, it checks all the boxes for a film noir. You had the femme fatale played by Rita Hayworth. She is great. She's playing her game. She has her own motives as Elsa. Michael has his. He's strung along. He's over head over heels for Rita Hayworth, so he'll do anything to kind of make things right, and he gets sucked into this plot with George. Then you have Mr. Bannister, who's trying to hold on to his youth. He's the old rich guy, married the young dame. Then you have awesome camera angles from Orson Welles here. You have awesome shadows, smoking, mystery, and plot twist. For every great moment, there's sort of a drag. It's not a perfect movie, but I'm still recommending it, and I hope we get a disc that has special features. Oh wait, it's coming in January? Look guys, Kino Lorber is releasing a Lady from Shanghai version. Hopefully it's from the same restoration, because this restoration is a 4K digital restoration and it looks great. This is from Mill Creek, but again, no special features. The Kino Lorber one promises special features. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of The Lady from Shanghai. Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? Is it something that you might be interested in? Let me know below. Unbox it again, Sam. This is the 80th anniversary edition of Casablanca, the classic film starring Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman. Looks like we got a steelbook here. On the back. So let's look at the steelbook. This is freaking awesome. Check out that. That is so cool. Can I say it's a new favorite steelbook? It possibly is now. Wow. Okay. Never anything more timely than Warner Brothers Casablanca. This is a booklet. Wow. Very cool. Wow, this is this is awesome, guys. Unbelievable. This is like an old newspaper. Very cool. What else? What else we got? Oh boy, this comes open sesame. Alright. Looks like a poster. About time I got a Casablanca poster. And it looks like it's very much, yep, very much like the old one. On the back, another version. It looks like we got some postcards, lobby card type thing, postcards. This is the call sheet? No, I don't know what that is, but it looks like floor plans of types. Pretty cool. Yeah, plans, designs. This is a great set. Let me know, guys, if you picked up this set of Casablanca, the 80th anniversary. It looks awesome. Edward G. Robinson is caught up in a murder and must cover his tracks before he is caught. And The Woman in the Window. Richard Wainley, played by Edward G. Robinson, is no criminal. At least he wasn't until he met the woman in the window. With his wife and kids out of town, the professor engages in an innocent flirtation with a chance acquaintance, played by Joan Bennett, and inadvertently commits a shocking and unspeakable crime. But that's just the beginning of his problems. For as the cunning D.A., played by Raymond Massey, one of Wainley's dearest friends, gets closer and closer to identifying the killer, Wainley finds he's more and more willing to resort to desperate measures to avoid being caught. Masterfully directed by legendary Fritz Lang, The Woman in the Window is a suspense-laden, gripping thriller with the logic and plausibility of a nightmare. Edward G. Robinson stands out front of a storefront and admires a painting of a woman. Then all of a sudden we see the reflection of the woman behind the painting, almost like a ghost-like figure. And I thought this was going to be a supernatural mystery type thing. No, it turns out it's Joan Bennett. Edward G. Robinson is head over heels for this woman. He's a married man. His wife and kids are out of town. What does he have to lose? Possibly everything. So he goes to her house. They get to know each other a little bit. She's married, or is she? We don't know. This man barges in and confronts Edward G. Robinson, gets on top of him. There's a scruffle. Edward holds out his hand to Joan Bennett. She gives him some scissors. He stabs the man in the back with scissors, killing him. So these two characters are now murderers. Could say it's self-defense, but I don't know if that's going to slide. Who knows? So now they have to get rid of the body. Edward G. Robinson, with his background in teaching criminology and detective stuff, he orders Joan Bennett to clean the apartment thoroughly, clean everything. I'll take care of the body, takes it out to the woods, He leaves mud tracks. He leaves tire tracks. His detective, one of his best friends, is after him. We know that Edward G. Robinson did this, but he's so paranoid and so full of anxiety about getting caught or having them on his trail. Edward G. Robinson is perfect for the film noir. His delivery in this, how close are you to the guy? You know, he's very quick, very snappy. He has that presence, that screen presence. He also was a supporting actor in one of the most popular film noirs, Double Indemnity. But here he gets a starring role in The Woman in the Window, and he does a fantastic job against Joan Bennett. They are so good. Fritz Lang directs this, and the paranoia that these two go through for an hour and a half is it's so intense at times. The way that he frames shots, the tight close-ups, the lighting, the smoke, the shadows, you know, the clues are all laid out in the beginning on how to solve this thing, and it's just a matter of them trying to weave their way through and cover up what they've done. Cover up the murder, which leads to this massive payoff and big twist at the end that I won't spoil. But I highly recommend The Woman in the Window. It is a fantastic film noir, one of the lesser known film noirs. The restoration, it was okay. I'm hoping that it says newly mastered in HD, but I'm hoping that they can go back and do like a 4K of this. It definitely deserves to have a better release. So the picture quality is okay. Sound is great. Special features, not much here. There's an audio commentary and a trailer. But I highly recommend from Kino Lorber, The Woman in the Window. Let me know, guys, if you've seen The Woman in the Window, what you guys thought of The Woman in the Window. Let me know below in the comments. Legendary filmmaker Stanley Kubrick, who directed movies such as 2001: A Space Odyssey, A Clockwork Orange, and The Shining, directs The Killing. The Killing is tough, taut, tense, and one of the greatest crime thrillers ever made. With fascinating detail, legendary filmmaker Stanley Kubrick lays bare the inner workings of a bold racetrack robbery. Among the crooks are Sterling Hayden as the deadly cool mastermind, Elisha Cook Jr. as a shy teller, and Timothy Carey as a puppy-loving sharpshooter. The plan is set, nothing can go wrong, or can it? Johnny Clay is the organizer of this dog track heist, and we follow Johnny Clay. Johnny Clay's delivery is very, very, very dry. Yo, gotta go down here, gotta take a left here, take a left there, go around the bend there, and there you go there. But he goes around, recruits his team. He recruits a sniper for a project, recruits a brawler, recruits a guy with a crazy wife who's in the middle of this too, and she can't keep her mouth shut about the heist, and she digs in more of what the husband is going to do with the heist. So then she goes and tells her lover, her person that she's having an affair with, about the heist. So he gets involved, tries to come between this heist. So there's a lot of moving parts in this, a lot of recruiting, it's more of an ensemble, but it's a lot of fun. It just has a narrator. It's just this guy, and so he's setting up the plate. Like some guy, it's like some guy announcing a baseball game, the way that he's delivering. The next day, on the third day of the Friday, Johnny Clay walked up and got his ticket to the ball game. Very much just like that. But you get an aspect of Kubrick here that I hadn't seen, because I had seen most of his more of his epic films, like Clockwork Orange and The Shining and 2001. But here you get a more restrained Kubrick. Just starting out Kubrick, it's a great little heist film. There's some different out of sequence time jumps, and it all blends together. For instance, the brawler he fights with the police, and it takes like 6 policemen, and it creates a distraction for Johnny to go in the back room and grab the money. But money provides no happiness in this, and the way that this movie ends, it just goes up in smoke, is all I'll say. And it's a fantastic ending. I think The Killing is rewatchable. I think you have to watch it at least twice, because the second time you know what's coming, but the second time you're putting the clues together, and it's also a rewarding experience. And I will say it has an influence on future crime heists such as Ocean's 11 and even The Dark Knight. Johnny Clay wears this rubber clown mask that is very reminiscent of the one that is worn by the robbers the Joker has in The Dark Knight in the beginning with the bank robbery scene. This is a brand new Dolby Vision HDR master from a 4K scan of the original camera negative. And I have to say, the black and white really pops with the HDR. This movie looks fantastic in the new 4K by Kino Lorber. It has the audio commentary by Alan K. Rode and a theatrical trailer. So not a lot of supplements that I wish it had, but you get a nice slipcover here, alternate artwork here. Fantastic movie, The Killing. Let me know below if you guys have seen The Killing and what you thought of it. I've provided 3 recommendations for film noir, and now I'm going to go into sort of my ranking. So, best film, I'm going to go with The Killing. Overall, it has all the twists and turns of a film noir. It has the camera angles, it has the femme fatale, it has the smoke, it has the shadows, it has everything that you want, and a great heist film. So The Killing is my number one this week. Next is The Woman in the Window. Fantastic acting and directing. Great story. Cool twist. A lot of fun. And then my last one is Lady from Shanghai. Little uneven, but it makes up for it with a great ending. Orson Welles does a great job, except for his stupid accent. That's the three that I have for you this week. Let me know what you guys thought of part 1 of the Film Noir series. We'll see you next week for part 2. This has been Return of the Disc. I'm Dan. For more Return of the Disc, visit returnofthedisc.com. Check out the audio version of today's show, available on all major podcast platforms. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel.